Hello everyone! Today we are going to learn about two different ways a people can get sick. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Jade Dorasaho, your teacher for today, and together with my co-teachers.
Hi kids, my name is Teacher Joanna. Hi kids, I am Teacher Larry. Hi kids, I am Teacher Mary Chris. Hi kids, I am Teacher China. Hi kids, I am Teacher April.
I will start with the first group called the Non-communicable diseases, or NCDs for short. NCDs are also known as chronic diseases because they usually last for a very long time. The most important thing to remember is that you cannot catch these diseases from another person. They happen because of things like our genes, our environment, and the choices we make every day. Here are some important facts. NCDs affect millions of people every year. Many of these illnesses happen because of four main things: smoking, not exercising enough, eating unhealthy foods, and drinking alcohol. Now let's have another teacher show you some specific examples of these long-lasting diseases, or NCDs.
Hi kids, did you know that cardiovascular disease is a group of conditions that affect the heart and blood vessels, often caused by plaque buildup in the arteries that restrict blood flow. It can lead to serious problems such as heart attack and stroke. So heart attack happens when blood flow to the heart is blocked. Damaging the heart muscle, it usually causes chest pain, shortness of breath, and sweating. While a stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is blocked or a blood vessel bursts, leading to brain damage. It often causes sudden weakness, trouble speaking, or loss of balance. Hi kids, so now let's learn about cancer. So what is cancer? Cancer is a disease where some cells in the body grow and divide uncontrollably. Normally, our cells grow, work, and die in an organized way, but cancer cells don't stop growing and they can form lumps called tumors. There are many types of cancer depending on where it starts. Some common types include breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, and leukemia. Cancer common signs and symptoms include unusual lumps, sudden weight loss, extreme tiredness, and changes in skin or bleeding. One of its causes includes smoking, unhealthy lifestyle, too much sun exposure, and family history or genetics. Treatment depends on the type and stage. It may include surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation therapy. So now let's talk about diabetes. So what is diabetes? Diabetes is a condition where the body cannot properly control blood sugar or glucose. Diabetes has two main types. First is type 1 diabetes, where the body does not produce insulin. Second, type 2 diabetes. The body doesn't produce insulin properly. If not controlled, diabetes can affect the heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. It is managed through healthy eating, exercise, medication, and sometimes insulin injection.
Hello everyone! Today we will learn about respiratory diseases. First, what is respiratory system? It's a part of our body that helps us to breathe. It includes the nose, the mouth, the throat, and the lungs. When we breathe in, we take an oxygen. When we breathe out, we release a carbon dioxide. Breathing is very important because our body needs oxygen to live. Respiratory diseases are illnesses that affect our lungs and make breathing difficult. Some examples are asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. These diseases can cause coughing, fever, and trouble breathing. Asthma happens when the airways become swollen and narrow. A person with asthma may have difficulty of breathing, make a whistling a sound when breathing, coughing often, and feel tightness in the chest. Asthma can be triggered by the dust, smoke, and cold air or strong smells. It can be controlled with proper medicine and care. Standing COPD or this chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD is a long-term lung disease. People with COPD will feel short of breath, cough frequently, get tired easily. COPD usually affects adults, especially those who smoke or are exposed to polluted air. We can protect our lungs by washing our hands, covering our mouth when coughing, avoiding smoke, eating healthy foods, drinking water, getting enough sleep. Our lungs work for us every day. Let's take care of them. Remember, healthy habits mean healthy lungs.
Now let's talk about the second group, called the communicable diseases. These are also known as infectious disease. Now, unlike the NCD, this can be passed from one person to another. These illnesses are caused by tiny germs called viruses, bacteria, and fungi. These germs can spread in many ways, such as touching something a sick person has touched, or breathing in droplets from cough or sneeze, and then eating or drinking contaminated water. We can stop these germs from spreading by practicing good habits, such as washing our hands thoroughly and cleanly, and cleaning and disinfecting things we touch a lot, like our doorknob or our smartphones, and then getting vaccinated to make your body stay strong and healthy. Now let's have another teacher show you some examples of these communicable diseases.
Hello kids! Today we will learn about viruses including rhinoviruses, influenza, and HIV. First, we talk about viruses. So, a virus is a tiny infectious agent that can reproduce inside the cells of living organisms. Viruses are much smaller than bacteria and they cannot survive on their own. So, they invade in healthy cells and use them to multiply. Viruses can infect human, animals, even in plants. Can we talk about rhinoviruses? Rhinoviruses is the most common viral infectious agent in humans. It is the main causes of common cold. What causes rhinovirus? Rhinovirus spread through sneezing and coughing, closest contact with infected people, touching contaminated surfaces, and then touching your nose and your mouth. Influenza. Influenza, commonly called the flu, is a more serious respiratory infection than the common cold. It is caused by the influenza virus, which affects the nose, throat, and lungs. The last one, we have the HIV. So, HIV is a serious virus that attacks the immune system. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. If untreated, it can lead to AIDS, Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. Process of HIV. So, HIV spreads through unprotected sexual contact, sharing needles, infected blood transfusions from mother to baby during pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding. It does not spread through hugging, shaking hands, sharing food, coughing, or sneezing.
We were talking about the bacteria. Bacteria is an organism that can cause infection. Some of signs of this are diarrhea, fever, or cough. There are two types of bacteria. First is Salmonella and the second was tuberculosis. First is Salmonella. It may causes from food poisoning. Some of signs of this was fever, diarrhea, or cramps. Second was tuberculosis. It was lung infection. It may cause airborne bacteria. There was a signs of this. First is cough with blood, fever, and weight loss.
Hi kids, so today I will discuss the fungi. So fungi are eukaryotic organisms that are not plants or animals. They absorb nutrients from organic matter and reproduce through spores. Some fungi are useful like yeast and mushrooms, while others cause diseases. It has 3 examples of fungal diseases. First is ringworm. Ringworm, despite the name, it is not caused by a worm. It is a fungal infection of the skin. Causes red, circular, itchuraces. Next is athlete's foot. Athlete's foot is a fungal infection that affects the feet, especially between the toes. Next is protists. Protists are mostly single-celled organisms that live in moist environments. They are also eukaryotic like fungi but are different in structure and function. Example of protist disease, malaria. Malaria caused by Plasmodium transmitted by mosquitoes.
Hi kids! Today, I'll be talking about some common childhood illnesses. These are illnesses that many kids experience. But don't worry, most of them are treatable and preventable. The first is common cold. Common cold is caused by viruses. Symptoms include a runny nose, sneezing, and sometimes a mild fever. It usually goes away on its own in a few days. Remember, wash your hands often and cover your mouth when you cough. Second is influenza or flu. The flu is stronger than a cold and can make you feel very tired with fever, cough, and body aches. Getting vaccinated every year helps prevent it. And always rest, drink plenty of fluids if you get sick.
Good day, kids. I am Teacher Sheena, and today we will talk all about chicken pox and pink eye. So, chicken pox causes itchy red spots all over your body. It spreads easily, so kids with chicken